What if I told you that deploying an AI receptionist could actually cost your business like 13 hours of manual labor every single week?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds completely backward, right? But it is happening constantly.
It really is. Today, we are opening the black box of AI automation to figure out why the tech that's, supposed to save you time might secretly be generating massive operational bottlenecks for your staff.
Exactly.
Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission for this session is pretty simple. We are cutting straight through the marketing hype surrounding AI receptionists right now in the year 2026.
And we're pulling all of this from a really comprehensive guide published on the Service Agent blog. It's titled AI Receptionist with CRM Sync.
Right. So whether you are a tech enthusiast tracking software evolution or like an agency owner implementing these tools or just insanely curious about the actual plumbing of modern business, you are in the right place.
You definitely are. We are going to look at the hidden mechanics that absolutely make or break real-world automation for you.
Yeah, so to really set the stage for you, we have to recognize that the entire AI receptionist category has completely bifurcated in 2026.
It really have. If you're evaluating these tools today,
Yeah.
you are essentially looking at a tale of two very different products masquerading as the exact same thing.
And the dividing line is no longer voice quality, is it?
No, not at all. That era is completely over.
Yeah.
I mean, most platforms now use models where the voices sound incredibly human.
Yeah, complete with like natural pauses and conversational pacing.
Exactly. That part of the technology has been totally commoditized.
So, if every AI sounds like a polite, competent human, the actual voice is basically just the user interface.
Precisely. The voice is just the front door.
Yeah.
The real differentiator, and really the core of our analysis today, is integration depth.
Right.
Specifically, we have to look at the massive chasm between native CRM sync and what the industry calls email summary integrations.
Yeah, because one functions as a high-powered business engine, right? And the other is essentially a mirage that just creates new work for your team. Okay, let's unpack this. Because the math from our source material regarding these email summaries is honestly staggering.
It is.
To understand why the integration depth is the actual product, we really need to walk through the hidden costs of a surface-level integration.
Right, the fake automation.
Yeah. So imagine your business deploys an AI that handles, say, 200 inbound calls a week. It does a fantastic job talking to the customer, qualifying the lead, figuring out the problem, and then...
And then it just sends your office manager an email summary of the conversation.
Right. On the surface, I guess that sounds like a helpful notification. You have a record of what happened.
Sure, but think about the physical workflow that email actually triggers.
Oh, it's brutal. Your office manager now has to monitor their inbox, read through the AI summary, and then like open up your customer relationship management software.
Your CRM.
Right, your CRM. And they have to manually search the database to make sure they aren't creating a duplicate contact.
Which happens all the time.
All the time. Then they type in the new contact details, manually set the follow-up tasks, download the call transcript from the email, and then upload it into the CRM record.
It's just so much clicking. The Service Agent blog actually calculates this physical process takes about 4 minutes per call.
Wow. 4 minutes.
Yeah. And across 200 calls, that is 13 hours of manual data entry every single week.
That's a part-time job.
Exactly. If you are paying your staff $25 to $40 an hour, you are suddenly looking at $1,000 to $2,700 a month in hidden labor costs.
Which means the hidden labor cost of managing the AI far exceeds the actual monthly subscription fee of the software itself.
Right. You haven't automated the process at all. You've just shifted the burden of work from answering the phone to doing data entry.
It's like buying a highly advanced, fully autonomous self-driving car, right?
Okay.
But when you get in, you realize you have to steer it with a remote control from the passenger seat.
That is a great analogy. You are still doing the driving. You're just doing it through an incredibly awkward interface.
Yeah.
What's fascinating here is how that operational drag fundamentally breaks the entire promise of adopting AI.
How so?
Well, the source material outlines 8 specific dimensions where a native CRM sync dominates an email summary. But we really need to focus on 2 main ones:
Which are?
sync latency and data accuracy. With an email summary, you're introducing a latency, like a time delay, of anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes.
Because you are entirely dependent on when that office manager happens to check their inbox.
Right. They have to finish their current task, see the email, and perform the manual data entry.
So if an email summary creates 13 hours of manual data entry and this massive time delay, the obvious solution is to connect the AI directly to the database.
Exactly. Native sync.
But letting an AI write directly into your customer database sounds incredibly risky. I mean, how do engineers actually build a bridge that doesn't just, corrupt your entire CRM?
This is a great question. Let's paint a picture of what that true native sync looks like in reality. Let's use a high-stakes
Yeah,
scenario.
lay it on me.
Imagine a customer calling a plumbing company because a pipe burst in their basement.
Okay, high urgency.
Right. With native sync, there is zero latency. As the AI gathers the information, it is simultaneously writing that data directly into the CRM's structured fields.
Wait, simultaneously?
Yes. The dispatcher in the office sees the new emergency job populate on their screen immediately,
Wow.
and the field crew sees the assignment hit their tablets before the customer has even hung up the phone.
So the dispatcher isn't waiting for a batch of emails to arrive.
No, not at all.
They are literally routing the truck while the AI is still saying goodbye to the customer.
That immediacy is the whole point. Slow lead routing directly correlates to lower conversion rates.
Right, because if that customer is sitting in a flooding basement and your team takes 30 minutes to process an email summary.
They've already called a competitor.
Exactly.
Furthermore, manual re-entry is where catastrophic typos happen.
Oh, absolutely.
If your office manager is rushing through those 13 hours of data entry and transposes 2 digits in a phone number, you didn't just make a typo.
You just lost a qualified lead potentially worth thousands of dollars forever.
Exactly. Not to mention the source notes that, with native sync, the actual audio recording and the full unedited transcript are automatically attached to the customer's record.
For quality assurance, right?
Yeah. With an email summary, the audio is usually trapped in the AI vendor's separate dashboard.
Meaning nobody actually ever goes back to listen to it.
Never.
So we've established that surface-level integrations are basically fake automation. Let's look at the actual plumbing.
Let's do it.
What are the specific technical mechanics required to build this self-driving native sync?
Well, the source breaks this down into a highly orchestrated dance between the AI platform and the CRM. They categorize it into 4 technical layers of real-time sync.
Okay, 4 layers. What's layer 1?
Layer 1 is what they call conversation-driven API writes.
Okay, let's clarify the terminology for anyone not writing code every day. An API, or application programming interface, is essentially a real-time digital bridge.
Right.
It allows 2 distinct software systems to talk to each other instantly.
That's a perfect way to look at it. So in layer 1, the API writes data while the conversation is actively happening.
So it's real-time.
Yeah. As the AI conducts the call, it is programmed to identify key data points, like the caller's name, their phone number, the specific service they're requesting, and the urgency.
Got it.
The moment the AI verbally confirms one of those pieces of information with the caller, it fires an API request across that bridge. It writes that specific detail into the CRM right then and there.
Wow. So if layer 1 is actively building the basic skeleton of the profile during the call, there has to be a different mechanism for handling the heavy lifting once the call is completely over, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because you can't push a massive transcript across the bridge while the AI is trying to talk. How does the system handle the wrap-up?
That brings us to layer 2, which is the webhook trigger on completion.
Okay, a webhook.
Right. If an API is a continuous real-time bridge, think of a webhook as a digital delivery truck. It is only dispatched once a specific event is completely finished.
Oh, I like that analogy.
So the moment the call disconnects, the AI platform packages the final state of the conversation.
It loads up the delivery truck.
Exactly. It fires a webhook to the CRM containing all the massive payloads, the complete transcript, the permanent hyperlink to the audio recording, a synthesized qualification summary, and even a calculated lead score.
It's essentially finalizing the file and locking it into the digital cabinet.
Yep.
Which brings us to the third layer you mentioned, structured field mapping. Why is this considered a separate, distinct layer of engineering?
Because raw data is totally useless if it isn't categorized correctly. Structured field mapping is the translation layer.
Right, because generic AI integrations often just take the entire summary of the call and dump it into a giant, unreadable notes section on the customer's profile.
Which is a nightmare. It makes the data impossible to search or filter later.
Exactly.
Layer 3 ensures that when the AI identifies a specific data point, like a timeline for a project, it maps that data perfectly to a specific corresponding schema field in your CRM.
Like what?
For example, a field specifically labeled Job Requested Date. It puts the right piece of digital paper into the exact right digital manila folder.
Okay, I have to challenge this setup, though.
Go for it.
We are talking about multiple complex systems passing data back and forth in milliseconds, but technology breaks constantly.
Sure.
APIs get overloaded. A CRM server might randomly reboot for 30 seconds. What happens if the CRM server drops the connection while the customer is actively on the phone with the AI?
It's a great question.
Does the AI just panic, freeze up, and hang up on the customer because it can't cross that API bridge?
And that scenario is exactly what separates a mature engineering team from a vendor selling you empty marketing claims.
So how do they fix it?
This is layer 4, error handling and retry. When a CRM API fails, or when it intentionally rate limits the connection because too much data is flowing at once, a mature AI platform utilizes a protocol called graceful degradation.
Graceful degradation. So the system is specifically designed to handle failure without the user ever noticing.
Exactly. The AI doesn't panic, and it certainly doesn't drop the call.
What does it do?
It simply queues the data, writes locally on its own secure servers, and it continues the verbal conversation seamlessly with the caller.
Wow.
Behind the scenes, it begins retrying the data transfer to the CRM using a method called exponential backoff.
Okay, explain exponential backoff for us.
It means the AI doesn't just hammer the broken bridge with continuous requests. It waits 1 second and tries again.
Okay.
If it fails, it waits 2 seconds, then 4 seconds, then 8. It systematically paces its attempts until the CRM comes back online and accepts the data.
It's like a highly trained waiter taking a complex order for a table of 6.
Yeah, exactly.
If the waiter goes to punch the order into the kitchen system and the kitchen's ticket printer is out of paper, the waiter doesn't run back to the table screaming that the restaurant is broken.
No, of course not.
They just hold the order in their head, wait for the manager to load a new roll of paper, and punch it in the second the printer is ready. The customer dining never knows there was a glitch.
That is a phenomenal analogy.
Mm.
Real engineering is building the architecture for when things break, not just optimizing for the flawless happy path demo environment.
So now that we understand the rigorous 4-layer engineering required to make this work, we really have to look at the reality of the software market.
We do, because you could buy the most sophisticated AI platform in the world, but if your CRM is basically a digital filing cabinet from 2014.
Right. It lacks the open architecture to accept those real-time API rights.
Exactly. The source categorizes the 2026 CRM landscape into 3 distinct tiers based on their capability to handle this integration.
So who actually makes the cut?
The landscape is incredibly revealing. Let's look at Tier 1. These are the platforms with the absolute strongest native integration capabilities.
The ones with the robust modern APIs designed for real-time data ingestion.
Yeah,
Looking at the list, we obviously see the enterprise heavyweights like Salesforce and HubSpot.
naturally.
But then the source highlights a massive presence of home services CRMs. We are talking about Service Titan, Jobber, and Housecall Pro.
Right.
It also lists Follow Up Boss for real estate, Pipedrive for sales, and Go High Level for marketing agencies. Why are vertical-specific platforms like home services CRMs so dominant on this top-tier list?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the dominance of home services CRMs makes perfect sense based on the mechanics of their industry.
Oh, so.
Think about the nature of dispatching a fleet of electricians or HVAC technicians. A broken air conditioning unit in the middle of a heat wave isn't an issue that can wait for an end-of-day batch email update.
Oh, absolutely not. That's an emergency.
Exactly. That entire industry operates on immediacy and location-based logistics. Real-time dispatching is the literal lifeblood of their revenue.
That makes total sense.
Therefore, companies like Service Titan and Jobber were forced by market demand to build incredibly open, highly reactive APIs years ago. They had to support real-time data flow just to survive.
So their architecture was already perfectly primed for AI integration before AI receptionists even existed. That's fascinating.
It really is.
So moving down the list, what defines a Tier 2 CRM?
Tier 2 includes platforms like Zoho, Insightly, and various vertical-specific tools like Boulevard for salons or Clio for legal practices.
Okay.
These platforms have decent APIs, but they often lack the depth required for true, seamless native sync.
So how do you connect them?
With Tier 2, you frequently have to rely on third-party middleware connectors. Think tools like Zapier or Make. You use those to bridge the gap between the AI and the CRM.
Which introduces another point of failure.
Exactly.
Because if your middleware breaks, your entire sync breaks, even if the AI and the CRM are functioning perfectly.
Right, it's just another weak link in the chain.
And what about Tier 3?
Tier 3 is the danger zone. This category includes older legacy CRMs without modern API infrastructure or heavily locked down custom internal databases.
Oh boy.
Yeah. If your business runs on a Tier 3 CRM, you're basically backed into a corner.
So what are your options then?
You are either going to pay an exorbitant fortune for custom software development to build your own API bridge,
Her.
or you're going to be forced to accept those dreaded email summary integrations we discussed at the beginning.
Wow. So the crucial takeaway for you as a business owner or operator listening to this is that you must audit your CRM's tier before committing to an AI strategy.
Absolutely.
Do not buy the autonomous self-driving car if you only have a dirt road to drive it on. Your CRM's architecture dictates the absolute ceiling of your automation potential.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
You simply cannot force a sophisticated AI into an archaic database without creating massive friction.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Let's say you've done your homework. You have a Tier 1 CRM, like HubSpot or Jobber.
Perfect.
You get on a Zoom call with an AI receptionist vendor, and their salesperson looks you in the eye and swears up and down that their product features flawless native sync.
They all say that.
Right. So how do you actually verify that they aren't just selling you a shiny pre-recorded demo?
You test them live.
Live on the call.
Yes, the Service Agent blog provides a brilliant, highly practical tool for this. It's a 6-test stress test that you should force any vendor to undergo before you ever sign a contract.
Oh, this is great. If you are on a Zoom call evaluating software tomorrow, this is exactly what you need to do.
Yep.
So the first and most critical test is the real-time write demo.
Right. Do not let the salesperson show you a slide deck.
No slide decks. You force the vendor to run a live test call into your actual sandbox CRM environment while you share screens.
Exactly. You watch your CRM dashboard to see if the record appears instantaneously while the call is still happening.
And if the salesperson hesitates and says, oh, it usually takes a few minutes to process.
You immediately know you're dealing with a batch process or an email parser, not a true real-time API sync.
It forces the vendor to prove their engineering on your data model, not their controlled environment.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, another critical metric in this stress test is custom field support.
Why is that so important?
Because every single business has unique operational workflows. Generic AI vendors usually hard-code their software to only map standard fields.
Like first name, last name, and email.
Right. But what if you run a pool cleaning business and your CRM relies on a custom field labeled gate access code?
Oh, that's a good point.
If the AI can verbally collect that code from the customer, but its API can't write to that custom field, your field technician is locked out. Your entire automated workflow is broken.
Wow. Yeah, you also have to interrogate them on their failure protocols, right?
Absolutely. Ask them point blank to explain their exponential back-off strategy when the API drops.
And ask them to prove exactly where the raw audio files are stored, just to ensure you retain ownership of your quality assurance data.
Yes, very important. But the final test on this list is the one that completely shifts the paradigm of what this technology actually is.
I know what you're going to say. It raises an important question about the fundamental nature of automation, and it brings us to the ultimate stress test.
Two-way sync.
Yes. Break down two-way sync, because this is the concept that really blew my mind.
Okay, so throughout this entire deep dive, we have primarily focused on one-way sync.
Right, which is the process of the AI acting as a data gatherer, having a conversation, and pushing new information into your CRM.
Exactly. But true two-way sync is about the CRM talking back to the AI.
Talking back.
Yes. It means that an event, a trigger, or a data shift happening deep inside your CRM can automatically command the AI to take action in the real world.
Give me a tangible example of how a business actually uses two-way sync.
Let's look at a dental practice. Imagine a patient's status inside a dental CRM automatically shifts from active to 6 months overdue for a cleaning.
Okay, happens every day.
Right. With a powerful two-way sync, that subtle data shift triggers a webhook that fires over to the AI platform.
Oh, wow.
The CRM essentially commands the AI, call this patient right now and get them scheduled.
Unbelievable.
The AI then autonomously initiates an outbound call to the patient, uses their specific history to personalize the conversation, books the appointment, and writes the new date back into the CRM.
That is wild. Or consider like a service business, right? If a high-value lead fills out a web form on your website, the CRM instantly processes the form and triggers the AI.
Yep.
It can call that web lead within 3 seconds, totally beating any human competitor to the punch.
Exactly. That completely transforms the identity of the software.
It really does. It is no longer just a digital net catching incoming data. It becomes an active, aggressive participant in your revenue generation and business operations.
Precisely. When you achieve two-way sync, the AI transitions from a passive receptionist waiting for the phone to ring into a proactive agent.
An agent that executes your standard operating procedures automatically 24 hours a day.
Yes, but building that reverse pipeline is incredibly difficult, which is why a massive portion of vendors only offer one-way sync. You have to explicitly test for this capability.
Right. So, what does this all mean for you? If you take nothing else away from this deep dive into the 2026 landscape, let it be this core insight.
Which is?
When you are adopting AI for your business, the integration depth is the actual product. The voice, no matter how human or pleasant it sounds, is literally just the user interface.
Absolutely.
If you sign up for a platform based on a shiny demo, but their underlying architecture only offers an email summary integration, you are not buying automation.
You really are.
You're simply paying a monthly subscription fee to generate new manual data entry work for your human staff. You must verify the native real-time API sync, and you must ensure your CRM is equipped to handle it.
And that reality leads to a much larger structural implication for you to consider as we wrap up our analysis today.
Let's hear it.
If two-way sync allows your central database to automatically trigger an AI to make outbound calls based purely on shifting data patterns.
Like reacting to a status change, a web lead, or a missed appointment without any human intervention.
Exactly.
Mhm.
If it can do all of that, are we actually witnessing the end of the AI receptionist category altogether?
Wow, how so?
Well, the very term receptionist implies a reactive posture. It implies sitting at a desk waiting for the phone to ring.
Right.
But this level of deep two-way integration is entirely proactive. I believe we are witnessing the birth of the autonomous AI operations manager.
An AI operations manager.
Yeah, we are moving toward an entity that constantly monitors your database, identifies operational inefficiencies, spots missed revenue opportunities, and actively reaches out to customers to fix those issues.
All without ever being instructed to do so by a human manager.
Exactly.
Right.
How might that level of autonomous two-way communication fundamentally rewrite how you scale your operations in the future?
It is an incredible paradigm shift to consider because at the end of the day, if you truly want that magical self-driving car of automation for your business, you can't be sitting in the passenger seat steering with a remote control.
You really can't.
You have to wire the AI directly into the engine of your CRM. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden plumbing of automation. We'll catch you next time.